Hey there. I just want to make a video today about 2020 and just how crazy it's been. I think that there's like a massive shift happening on Earth at the moment. There's this huge transformation taking place. Like with all these crises and the viruses and all these things that are happening, it's like there's this massive shift taking place. Because I know for myself, this year's been just crazy. Like, um, I've been doing lots of root chakra work, which like within the body, because I see my body as like just a big memory system. So like the root chakra is the belief system. It's what you truly believe, and it's one of the most important chakras because what you believe is how you manifest your life. Like if you think about that, what you truly believe, that's how your life will unfold because that's your truth, that's your deepest belief system. It's the foundation. It's like a house. It's the house, the foundations for a house is the most important part because you can build a house with weak foundations. It might last 10 years, but then it might fall over. But if you have really strong foundations, then the house will last for centuries. So that's what I've been doing this year. It's just like massive root chakra work. So it's just been all about my partner, families, and I also really been working on a lot of energy stuff with like getting down to the real basics of like the scientific way with the quantum field and manifesting and vibrations and how humans, we're like channels and we channel energy, and whatever we channel, the vibration we're on is reflected to us in our life. What we believe, our inner world is reflected as our outer world. All these things, like, so for me, this year has just been mad. Like, so much work has gone into it, and in the last 9 months, I've changed so much, and been making heaps of evolving heaps with my partner also. So we'll be doing heaps of work together. So which has been quite tough at times because it's like purging. When you're releasing the old, it can create a lot of dramas. So because you got to release the old beliefs. So to release the old beliefs, it's like a battle that happens within my mind, whether what's right, what's wrong, or what do I want, what I don't want. But so to get to where I am now, you have to go through a lot of stuff. So anyway, that's what it's been like for me. So, but I think that's what this year's all about, like globally. 2020, it's just like, because if you think of it, we went right back to the root. Everybody was at home, all the airlines stopped functioning. The only businesses that really were kept going, the only humanity, we got brought right down to the fundamental, to like the root of our being. So the only things that were left operating was what was necessary. So we're doing some massive inner work, like collectively. And I think this is going to be reflected. And in the next decade, I think it's going to be like a massive decade. There's going to be so much change take place. But I think that the next 3 or 4 years is going to be huge for us on Earth, because this transformation that's taking place, it's not small. We're all, it doesn't just happen like that. It takes time. So it's going to take the next 3 years, and there might be even more things happen within that time. But then I think what happens after that is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be crazy. I just have this feeling. So, um, because it's the same thing, you know, like whenever there's a massive obstacle, in your life, like quite often we can have a lot of fear towards that obstacle. And, but we have to go through that fear with love to get to the other side. And quite often when you get to the other side, you feel amazing and you're so much stronger for it once you get there. So I think that's what we have to do. That's what we're doing collectively. There was a whole lot of fear with the virus, obviously, and but collectively we will get through it. But we're going to be so much stronger once we, get past that situation. And so it's about learning though as well through this process. I think it's not about taking some magic vaccine just for it to disappear. I think that we have to learn from it because that's what viruses and flus and colds and everything, it's all about. Like, it's the body's releasing old information. So we're releasing all old ways of thinking, old ways of being, and we have the opportunity now to recreate something new and more aligned with what we want, because there's so much stuff happening on earth that we really should think about it. So, but I think this is all just happening anyway. It's just one of those years. So there's heaps of things to learn from this. So we can learn about the mind, about how our mind has control over the way we think, controls, what frequency we choose during the day controls the state of the day. Like today, I was when I got to work, because I'm real empathic, and I feel so much energy. And like when I got to work, I just felt it today. It felt real. The energy felt real heavy, and like my back was hurting, and I was like, oh man, it feels real dense in here. And then one of the guys come from inside, and he came out and he saw us, and he was just like making jokes, and the energy just shifted straight away. We just started laughing and everything. The energy just shifted. So this is just with the power of our mind. When we shift our mind, we can change our frequency, and when we change our frequency into that joy state, our immunity within our body becomes so much stronger. And it's like, if you think about the slaves that there was, they were working really hard, getting whipped or whatever, and they used to sing songs. So that's a perfect example. Like, they could have suffered because that would have been a really hard time, obviously, but through that they sang songs together. But when they did that, that would have lifted their vibration up to another level, and that's what would have made the people controlling them so upset, because they were defying what they were trying to do. They were trying to suppress them, but they raised their spirit up high and defeated it. So this is what it's all about too. Is like, through this virus, it's not about hiding away in a house being scared. We have to raise our vibration up. So it can be anything. We become more balanced with our work, start to listen to our body more. If you're doing 60 hours and you're tired and you can't handle it, then maybe you're working too much. Like physical activities, yoga, breathing techniques. There's so much things happening with breath, water, alchemies. So it's like about this, and also going inside and really going deep within and asking yourself what it is that you want. Are you being authentic? Aligning to our higher self is also very good, because, like, personally, I believe that when I came here, I had something that I wanted to do. So I don't believe it's just in coincidences. I think that I believe I've had past lives, and I believe we're eternal and stuff like that also. But so, because I believe I'm consciousness. So when we come into the body, I believe it's about expanding all the time. So this right now is a chance for us to expand and to learn and to become more conscious, as a planet and as a civilization and just humanity and in general. So we can learn so much from it. But yeah, so I think it's all about the root chakra at the moment. So if the foundations are changing on our planet, if the way we think and what we believe is right, if that's all changing, which is what it seems to be doing, then if that changes, then everything else will change afterwards. So there'll be this dramatic, like, shift. Because if you also think, like, throughout the time periods, just look over the last 200 years, look how much we've changed. So those periods of growth, quite often we can change consciously, but quite often we don't do that as a humanity. So through the obstacles and the traumas, that's when we evolve the fastest and the most. And that's what's happening right now. So it's just like a person, if they had cancer, they go through that, and if they make it out the other side, they're a totally different person. And just look at a child, and then that child becomes like a 65-year-old human. To get from the child to that human, there's a whole lot of stuff that happens to receive the experience and that wisdom. So there's a whole lot of wisdom to be gained at the moment through what's happening. So I think instead of being scared about it, we really need to use it to lift ourselves up and to go higher and to raise our spirits and to start doing things where our immunity becomes stronger and our immune system becomes stronger, but by being together, not separating each other with masks and stuff. I don't mind wearing the mask or whatever, but people are too scared to stand next to you and stuff. So it's like our immune system becomes so much stronger within love and togetherness. So anyway, but this is just my thoughts, but I think that the next couple of years is going to be crazy, and then this decade is going to be one where there's going to be so much change happen on Earth, but it's going to be amazing. Anyway, lots of love to everybody, sending lots of love, and I hope everybody's doing well, keeping their spirits high, and take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.